as Rogers makes the steal off Aaron Williams. His Kidd in pursuit, knocks it away. It's Jason Kidd and his defense. Kenny Anderson called for a travel. So much is made of Jason's Kidd's his flashy passing. I mean, no one's better at finding the open man, at seeing the floor, but he sees the floor equally on the defensive end.
He sees the floor on the defensive end. He draws charges. He's one of the best in the league at creating steals. He sets the tone for this team by how hard he plays on both ends. Talk to the net players. They talked about, Todd McCullough told us yesterday, what impresses him is the way Jason Kidd practices every day. You're talking a 4 straight year first-team All-NBA player, 3 times first-team All-NBA defensive team. When your best player plays like that, everybody else falls in line.
He's going to shoot a technical foul as Rodney Rogers, upset with that last call for the technical.
Well, frustration obvious from the Boston Celtics. You can't help but be frustrated. Play as well as they played. You've finally got a home game in the conference finals, and you fall flat on your face. You better believe they're frustrated.
Well, let's look for a negative from the New Jersey Nets. They're 3 of 9 from the free throw line. And that's where it ends, because it has been a superb performance from them.
The more aggressive team has won every game, even in game 2 when both teams struggled to score. Clearly the Celtics were the more aggressive team. In game 1 and so far this afternoon, only one aggressive team.
Kidd called for travel, then has some words with Paul Pierce afterwards. Crowd getting on Jason Kidd. Kidd is not a talker on the floor. We're going to have double technicals against Pierce and Kidd. Smart move from Joe Crawford. Again, perhaps maybe in this game it's not going to matter, but what this does, you don't shoot free throws on a double technical. It has you 1 technical foul away from being automatically ejected.
You got a couple of native Californians that have played against each other a lot. You got a Northern-Southern California rivalry. These two guys really respect each other, but Paul Pierce is just devastated right now with his struggles.
Rogers really going at it. That basket will not count. Foul on New Jersey before the shot. It'll be their 3rd team foul, and he'll take it out of bounds. Let's go back down the other end of the floor with Kidd and Pierce after the traveling violation on Jason Kidd.
Well, you see the split right there. Paul Pierce tries to draw an offensive foul, but he's got both arms up. He's got his elbows and his forearms up, and Jason Kidd's just telling him, I don't care if you step in, but keep those elbows down. Probably use different words, though.
Pierce off the mark. Pierce now 2 of 14 from the field. And an offensive foul call against Aaron Williams, pushing off down low to try and get position on Pierce. Williams picks up his 2nd.
Well, Bobby Delaney, Joe Crawford, and Bill Spooner, the officials right now, the one thing they're going to make sure this game does not get out of control. Anything that looks like a little bit chippy, they're going to blow the whistle right now.
You ask referees, sometimes these are the hardest games to officiate. A close game is not, because players are concentrating their focus. Game like this, there's frustration setting in. There's players that lose focus a little bit. Delk goes hard and draws the foul, and Tony Delk will shoot 2.
Mike, let me amplify your comments. This is a hard game to play in. Every player will tell you that. It's a hard game to coach as Tony Delk tries to go to the basket. Aaron Williams and Kenyon Martin are not allowing a layup. It's a hard game to broadcast. It's a hard game to do anything.
Aaron Williams with his 3rd foul. Every game with you is up. No, I'm not going to say that. No, it's our Memorial Day weekend coverage of the NBA playoffs rolls on tomorrow at 5 Eastern. Chris Webber and the Kings now up 2-1 face the Lakers at the Staples Center. Then on Memorial Day Monday at 3 Eastern, the WNBA on NBC returns. The Sparks, who won today, take on the Houston Comets. And following the WNBA, Game 4 this series between the Celtics and the Nets. NBA playoffs all weekend long, only on NBC. 23-point lead, final minute, 3rd quarter. Nets had the big first half lead and have continued to build on it. Kidd fires away, and Tony Pt1 the rebound.
Listen, Kidd did well to catch that pass, Mike.
Anderson goes inside, and an offensive foul call on Kenny Anderson. Jason Kidd draws yet another charge as Anderson picks up his 2nd.
Kenny thought Jason was moving. Let's take a look at it right there. He did move, but it looks like he got himself set in front. Joe Crawford Offensive foul is the call.
You do not have to have your feet set to draw an offensive foul. And that time Kidd just got in front of a very close call. And you see the clock over the Boston Celtic basket is out. So they're checking that. It's fine down the other end. And the big scoreboard up top is fine.
Well, I got news for you, Mike. If there's a shot clock they don't need, it's the one on top of the Celtics basket right now.
I think the Celtics wouldn't mind if the entire scoreboard went out. 74 to 51. About a 2-second difference between shot and game clock.
I like to put the ball in Jason Kidd's hand and then run a little play for Kerry Kittles under.
Kidd loses it. Nice save that time by Tony Pt1. Final seconds of the third quarter. Tony Delk, excellent feed, and Rogers able to put it in. Jefferson from three-quarters court, and that will do it. Ending the third quarter. Paul Pierce continues to struggle after his 3 for 20 performance, 2 of 14 here in Game 3. Jason Kidd, meanwhile, strong play. We'll be back after these messages and a word from the local station. Clock is fixed. Fourth quarter set to begin in Boston as the Nets have pummeled the Boston Celtics. Paul Pierce struggling. He's been complaining to officials, and he just heard it pretty good from his teammate Antoine Walker in the huddle the last time. Walker let the team have it and also let Pierce have it. Told him to stop whining, stop worrying about officials and no calls. And he said to the team, hey, the Nets are laughing at us right now.
I think that was the gist of the message. They're disrespecting us right now. We can't back down. We got to play. It doesn't matter whether we win this game or not. We got to go back at the Nets right now.
Jefferson, the latest to guard Pierce. Nice quick move. Of course, Pierce is a big-time fourth-quarter player, but if the Celtics put themselves in too big a hole to make it matter. Tony Pt1 was limping as he ran up the floor, and they forced a turnover.
Not too big a hole if the Nets turn the ball over.
Walker against Van Horn, goes right at him left-handed. And just like that, it's cut to 17. This is the closest they've been in the second half.
This is what I thought I'd see in the beginning of the third quarter, Mike.
But they still have a long uphill climb. Have an entire quarter to do it. Jefferson, nice reverse move, doesn't finish, and Pierce the rebound. And a foul called on Richard Jefferson. Not a smart play, and Jefferson has picked up his 5th.
Well, the two superstars, you saw them talking at the timeout between the quarters. Paul Pierce responds right away. Antoine Walker says, I'm just not talking. I'll show you what I mean. He also goes right to the basket.
Tony Pt1, short.
I don't think that's the shot Jimmy O'Brien wanted.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Mike, I can't stress enough, it's not just this afternoon. Is the game over? No way. But it's more important for the Celtics in this series to step up and respond right now.
Pierce draws the foul and one. Somehow held on. And he's got a chance for the three-point play. The Celtics have cut it to 15.
Paul Pierce again puts the ball on the floor. That's a careless foul right there. If you're not going to foul him hard, let him shoot a layup. Don't give him 3 points.
And a 14-point deficit now for the Boston Celtics, and the crowd very much back into it. It's Tony Delk. Got a little too aggressive that time. And Delk picks up the personal. That's his first.
We talked about the need for poise from the Celtics early on when they fell behind. Right now, the New Jersey Nets cannot fall back on their heels. They've got to execute aggressively on the offensive end.
Lucius Harris tries to draw the foul. Oh, they wave it off. The ball above the cylinder. Offensive interference. If any of the ball is above the cylinder, you can't touch it. That's a great play from Jefferson, but it looks like it should have been negated.
It's a big-time play from Richard Jefferson. You'd love to see that.
Pierce gets past Jefferson again and puts it in.
No New Jersey net help defense. That's 4 plays. The
2 minutes. Standing ovation at the Fleet Center. Nets need a timeout.
Paul Pierce puts the ball on the floor, but it's less what they're doing on the floor. It's what went on between the quarters. The Celtics are responding to Antoine Walker's challenge.